Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you guys so much for being here as always and giving me a safe place to create. I wanted to go ahead and start a Plan With Me series, as this is one of my major hobbies that I love to do. And I thought we could start out by doing my monthlies. So I have a daily planner, a meal planner, and a fitness planner. So let's go ahead and get started. So I always start with my bills section. Since we are going through April, I had to make sure that I was on the April bills calendar. Now I am left-handed, so sometimes when I'm writing, my iPad does not register or function properly. So I have all of these really cute planner stickers that I like to use. I always say that it's my way of working smarter, not harder. So all I'm doing here is getting all of those bill stickers put onto the calendar so I can match them up with the correct dates just on when they're due. I am also using my bill Excel sheet to make sure that I have all of the bills and making sure that I have all of the correct dates. I do try and keep this as organized as possible, along with having a list of bills on my phone with the payments and when their due dates are as well, just so I can double check to make sure that everything is getting paid correctly. So as you can see, I'm just adding them up to the correct dates and placing the correct stickers where they need to be. So I am just finishing up the last of the stickers, and this is normally what it looks like. I will be transferring that to my whiteboard that hangs in the house because that is what my significant other looks at. Now here I am doing my activities for April, if I have any. I know that I have 4 to 5 major activities that I'll be doing, so I always start off with the first thing that comes to mind, which is my bridal shower shopping. My bridal shower is in May, so we are going out for prizes and making sure that I have all of the plates and decorations that I need. And we don't have a set time for this, so all I'm putting it as is bridal shower shopping, and then we're gonna go forward from there. So what I'm doing here is I have the worst handwriting because I am left-handed, so I am just writing everything out, and then I'm going to put it in a different font just to make it look a little bit more aesthetically pleasing. Now, I feel like I take the longest on list just because I do like everything to be perfect, and I like it to kind of fit my personality. So that is definitely something that is majorly important to me. Now here all I'm doing is I am writing out some days that I know that are very important to me. So my significant other's birthday is this month at the end of the month, and here I am just looking for a sticker to put next to his little reminder. We will probably go to dinner, so I'm just blocking off my calendar for this just to make sure that I have enough time set aside for him. And I'm pretty sure this is what I settled on. 2 cute little love hearts. And I'm just putting that in the corner. And then I'm going to go ahead and go over to my next activity on the 6th. I have a wedding alterations appointment. Now, I actually said yes to the dress in February, and I went in to make my final payments and just completely pay off my dress so I could make this alterations appointment. And they essentially lost my dress but in all honesty, I'm just happy my wedding is in October, and that is a completely different story for a completely different time. The next activity is we have a vintage like market that's coming into town on the 9th, and I'm super interested in going, but I just haven't decided if I'm going. I just know where the location is, so I put that on my calendar just to follow back up with it, along with my gym progress photos. Now, I take gym progress photos once a month just to see if I'm seeing any type of difference, and in all honesty, I feel like it's going to help me mentally to make sure that I am holding myself accountable. And again, here I am doing a font change just because I don't like my handwriting, and it's definitely not the most pleasing thing to the eye. So that's what I'm going to be doing forward, just picking out different fonts for all of these, and just essentially, you know, having a grand old time. So I am just finishing this up. This will honestly help me make my April whiteboard calendar, as I do merge these two calendars together. So this is just showing you guys a little bit more of how everything looks. And honestly, this is one of my biggest hobbies that I love to do. It's so mind relaxing, and I wouldn't even be able to explain like how happy this makes me. So the next thing that I'm going to set up is my habit tracker. I have to scroll like all the way down to find it. If you guys are interested in watching like me plan out my week essentially, like please let me know, because I can do that like once a month with y'all, just to give you like a life update. Honestly, I feel like I do a lot, and I'm super extra with my weekly planning, but I do check it on the daily basis as well. So here I am putting my habit tracker down, and honestly, I'm just copying, pasting, and then erasing all of the highlighter stuff that I have. So I did make a 6-month plan to do meditation, shadow work, and a reflection each day, wash my face in the morning, and try and go in bed before 12:30, as I do work 5:30 in the morning now to 2:30, and I'm just exhausted. This is my little brain dump area. It's where I put all of my thoughts, and then here is my water tracker. And then this is just like a general idea of what my planner looks like. And then now we're gonna go ahead and switch over to my workout tracker, which I always try and plan out a month in advance just to make sure that I'm sticking to my set schedule and my set routine. And this is just me getting some stuff ready. I did try and write out my last workouts just to make sure that I knew where I was leaving off on. I also do not like to put numbers for my months, because while I was putting this in my phone, I realized that I had messed up, and this is just the like essential routine that I stick with, so I just kind of go in order. I was trying to write the numbers for you guys just so I looked like I had it together, but in all honesty, like I just put it into my calendar correlating with what I have written down. I do keep it on my phone and on my whiteboard calendar just in case. I do try and keep up with this as much as possible. I am on a 12-week routine right now, and then I have another 12-week routine starting right after. So this just helps me just make sure that I'm holding myself accountable and making sure that I am sticking to everything that I'm doing and making sure that I am tracking my macros, tracking my calories and my water intake, along with making sure that I am sticking to my routine and my rest days. Back when I first started working out in high school, I did not realize that I was overworking my body and under eating. So this is something that's really important to me and my mental health, and it's just easier for me to see it on paper instead of looking at my phone calendar, which obviously this is digital, but you know what I mean. So I do try and alternate all of my workouts. I don't like to do lower body and then work on my butt right after, so I try and make it to where I work on one part of my body and then the opposite on the next day, and then giving myself a little bit of rest in between. And if you guys are interested in seeing my workout routines, let me know, because I now have them separated into very specific categories. And if that's something you guys are interested in, let me know and comment. I will be starting a what I eat in a day to meet my 2,000 calorie mark. And it's just very interesting to see like how much it takes to like eat that much calories. When they explained to me that that's how much I needed to eat because I constantly work out, I was like, oh my gosh, like I barely eat like the 1,200, if that makes sense. So it's been definitely a journey for me, and I can't wait to share it with you guys. I'm finally getting into a routine that I'm able to feel comfortable eating that amount of calories. So I'm definitely excited to show you guys, and I have started it on my TikTok along with being more active on there as well. So if you guys could go over there and give me a follow and a like, I would very much appreciate it, and keep up with my fitness journey. All I'm doing here is finishing out the last of the little bit of the month to fill in all of the boxes. And if there's any leftover days, then I just add it to the next month's. And I also put all of my workouts inside my phone calendar. I also like to set goals for myself each month. So this upcoming month, I want to have 50 to 70 grams of protein, along with upping my water intake to 8 cups a day instead of my 6 cups. So what I'm doing here is I am just showing you guys the layout of my fitness planner. I try and track my sleep, but I do track my sleep on my phone as well, and I just input it in here later. So here I am just making sure I have April's ready. And this is just showing you that all of the days, the times, along with the energy level. And here's just another habit tracker. This habit tracker is more for my fitness goals, and that's my macro tracker. And here I am just adding another one for April. And I do go in and add this in at the end of the week as well. Keeping up with this every day is kind of complicated. So it's just a lot easier for me to take one of my slower days at work to do this while I'm waiting for training and phone calls and whatnot. And then this is me just setting up April's. And then this is just me going through what came with my fitness planner. So here is the very next thing that I do. I do my April meal plan. Well, my meal plan for the month. This just happens to be April. I like to plan out my meals all at one time. Now, my significant other does work an opposite shift of me. So eating dinner with him is not really an option. So when planning out these meals, it's honestly really complicated because I have to put myself in his shoes of she cooked this like 3 or 4 hours ago and it has to taste good to be heated up. So I always make this rough draft and have him review it just to make sure like, oh, like what if he doesn't like chicken tenders heated up like in the microwave? Like then I obviously know not to make that for him. But this honestly helps me make content for you guys and make sure that my significant other is getting the best food at work, as sometimes he doesn't get a chance to like heat food up or he doesn't get a chance to sit down and eat. So I try and make this as easy as possible for him, and I try and do this every other day or every 2 days depending on where we're at in our schedule. Essentially what normally happens is I will cook a small dinner for me and then I will make a little bit extra for him to take to work the next day and the day after that if there is no set plans to cook. And this just is what's easiest for us, and normally we have Saturday, Sunday off together, so I try and make dinner one of those days. So it kind of is like a guessing game on what days I'm going to cook, but I do try and plan them out ahead of time just to make sure that everything is somewhat streamlined, and it normally works out for the best anyways, and I cook on the days that I have labeled on the calendar. Now, sometimes I don't think it's really beneficial for me to cook on Fridays, as he doesn't bring lunch to work Saturday, Sunday, as he's not working. So sometimes I just skip Fridays and highlight it for the next month, which seems to work out as well. Sometimes I'll make what I have labeled on Friday on Sundays, and sometimes I'll just completely skip cooking because he normally works later on Fridays until maybe 1 or 2 a.m. So there's really no point of even cooking unless he's going to eat it right when he gets home, and sometimes the leftovers are not as good as you'd think. So all I'm doing here is just making a general plan, and then I will be sitting down with him to discuss this and put it on the whiteboard calendar, as I've mentioned in the like earlier in the video. Essentially, the whiteboard calendar is how my significant other makes sure that he's on the same page as me, because we don't normally get to see each other during the week, and I always add any type of appointments up there or anything that's coming up or any type of date ideas up there as well. This is just easier for my brain to see, because if it's all jumbled together, it would confuse me. And the whiteboard is more for my significant other anyways, and if I don't have it written down in my planner, it's kind of one of those things where it's out of sight, out of mind. So here I am just finishing out the month, and I will show you guys what it looks like completely and see if I need to make any type of adjustments, as I personally do not like to eat like pork and pork within the same like 2 days, if that makes sense. Or like I don't like to eat like chicken and then space chicken. I'm very weird about that, but this was the idea that I had so far. And then here is my grocery list, and I will sit down and do this on my own time once I have a set meal plan ready. So this will do it. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys could like, comment, and subscribe, I would appreciate it so much, and have a great day.